What's up? What's up? What's up? This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. How is everybody doing on this Friday evening? Welcome to the DB Talking Now podcast. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Just some recent things that happened. Obviously, safety Malcolm Jenkins, after 13 seasons, went ahead and retired. Obviously, phenomenal safety. Came to the Eagles when he was 26 years old through free agency. Won a Super Bowl with us back in Super Bowl 52. And then obviously won a Super Bowl with the Saints as well. So he's got 2 Super Bowls to his name. So congratulations to a great career for Malcolm Jenkins and any of his future endeavors. But let's go ahead and get into some draft talk. It's what I really want to talk about right now. It's kind of slow. Talks Falcons. What's up, my man? Welcome to the chat. Happy Friday, my dude. Happy April 1st. Happy April 1st. Let's go ahead and get into some talks. What do we think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do? What do we think that the Falcons are going to do? Just because Talks Falcons is in the chat. Me personally is I think there's so many different ways, there's so many different scenarios that could go down for the Philadelphia Eagles in this draft. Just recently they did bring in Jamison Williams, wide receiver from Alabama, Jamison Williams, for a visit. So I mean, is it possible that they take a flyer on a guy in the first round who is currently injured? Is Jamison Williams worth taking a flyer on him in the first round? I think so. I think he is. Me personally, I think I would probably take Jamison Williams at pick 19 if the Philadelphia Eagles did not trade that pick, because obviously they have 3 first rounders. A lot of people, the common speculation is they're going to trade one of them. So, but is Jamison Williams going to be worthy of a first round pick that reach? I think the Philadelphia Eagles would do it. They've done it before. Not necessarily with the first rounders, but with the second rounders for sure. So, obviously with the likes of Landon Dickerson, Sidney Jones. Obviously, Sidney Jones didn't pan out for us, but Landon Dickerson has become a stud. Talks Falcon says, I don't know. Eagles could go for an O lineman or maybe D lineman with their first pick. Yeah, here's the thing about that's an interesting comment about the offensive line. Look, the Eagles' offensive line is set right now. It really is. Like it's probably one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league. But Lane Johnson is getting up there in age. Jason Kelce is back on a 1-year deal. So I mean, like if you have that dude Penning, that tackle Penning that falls to you at one of those picks, or if you have Tyler Lindenbaum, who falls to you at one of those picks, then yeah, I mean I wouldn't blame the Philadelphia Eagles for taking an offensive lineman there. Defensive line obviously is another thing that they need to address. But honestly, I think that they're going to look to maybe go corner. But who knows? Honestly, who knows? I think if the Eagles go cornerback, they would most likely trade up for one, and it would probably be either Sauce Gardner or Stingley. But there is the possibility that Stingley could fall just due to his injury history. And if Derek Stingley ends up falling to 15, I don't think the Eagles would hesitate to take Derek Stingley, or they might. I'm not sure. Talks Falcon says, I'm not saying the line is trash, but like you said, Johnson is getting up in age. Yeah, I didn't think that you were saying. Yeah, Talks Falcons. I didn't think that you were saying that the line was trash. Yeah, Lane Johnson is getting up there in age. I think he's turning 33 this year. Don't quote me on that. Obviously, Jason Kelce, has been contemplating retirement year in, year out. But it's good to have him back. So, yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't, me personally, would I prefer a different position than offensive line? Yeah, I probably would, just because I want to see us add playmakers. I want to see us add skill guys, whether it be on the defense or the offense. But it's always good when you can bring in somebody on the offensive line that ends up being a stud. So, as far as the defensive line is concerned, yeah, I mean, I could see them going Jordan Davis or Devontae Wyatt if they're there. Jermaine Johnson maybe. David Ajabo obviously is out of the question in the first round now, just with his ACL tear, things of that nature. So, like, it all depends. I think George Karlaftis has also been falling down boards, and I'm not as high on him as I was, but I mean, I wouldn't mind them taking him at like 16 maybe. Toxic Falcon says, I still see the Falcons going defense in the first round. Yeah, I personally think you guys are probably going to get Sauce Gardner, honestly. I think that would be a good pick for the Falcons. So Sauce Gardner, cornerback or pass rusher. Cornerback or pass rusher. Oh, the other thing that I did not talk about is I did call it. So I did say in the previous stream, maybe like a month ago or something like that, that I believed that Bruce Arians was going to retire. And lo and behold, Bruce Arians retired. You want to know why? I think Bruce Arians is scared of having another losing season. You know what I mean? He retired after he left the Cardinals for a little bit and then came back to the Bucks. They got Tom Brady, and then had immediate success. And so I don't think I personally don't think Bruce Arians has the cojones to rebuild a roster. I really don't. Tox Falcon says I have no expectations this season. Yeah, it's hard to have expectations this season. Honestly, it doesn't matter what team that you're a fan of. Mainly because the NFC is wide open. To be completely honest, the NFC is wide open for anybody in the for anybody. Tox Falcon says, "Nah, he's scared of Brady." Yeah, maybe. I mean, Brady has a lot of say, and pretty much controls what happens on that offense. That's why I always said during the coaching searches is like, be careful what you wish for when you're looking at these Buccaneers coaches. These Buccaneers coaches for the head coaching position, because it's like Tom Brady's running the offense most of the time. And so Todd Bowles is cool. Todd Bowles is good, but as far as who was it? David Gerard was their offensive coordinator. Toxic Falcon says NFC not wide open with Tom still here. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean that does make them the towards the cream of the crop again. Plus they re-signed Leonard Fournette, so there's that. They brought back a few guys. But it will be interesting. And honestly, the offseason obviously isn't over. Rosters have still yet to be put together, and so we never know. As of right now, we don't know how things are going to shake out. What trades are going to be made, and do the Philadelphia Eagles trade for wide receiver? Is DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett actually going to get traded? I don't think that DK Metcalf's going to get traded. I just personally don't. I didn't ever really think that it was smart for them to move away from DK Metcalf just because he's a young player going into the final year of his contract. Just because he's going into the final year of his contract doesn't mean he's automatically on the trade block. I think fans forget that. Tosh Falcon says, "Did I mention I hate Tom Brady in football?" Yes, you did. Yes, you have. You've mentioned that plenty of times. But me personally, I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be the starting quarterback next year. Despite what they've been saying. So I honestly think that they're going to draft a quarterback. And I think it's going to be Kenny Pickett. I wouldn't even be surprised if they traded up for Kenny Pickett. So Toxic Falcon says, wait, what? What? What piece has you confused? Toxic Falcon says, did you say Jalen's not going to start? Yeah, I did. I don't think that he's actually going to be the starting quarterback. And if he is, I think it's only gonna be for maybe 4 or 5 games. I think that they're gonna actually trade up maybe not trade up, but I think that they're definitely gonna take a quarterback, whether it be Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, any one of those guys. And the reason why I say that is because they're not building around Jalen. They're not doing what they said they were gonna do. You know what I mean? You have to look at it this way: is like in Carson Wentz's second year as the starter, they went out and they grabbed Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, LeGarrette Blount, traded for Jay Ajayi. They're not doing any of that with Jalen Hurts. So something tells me that they still don't think that he's the guy. King, what's up, my man? Welcome to the chat today. Happy Friday. I know we called for DK Metcalf and they said that they were trying to extend him, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I thought it was crazy to see the rumors about A.J. Brown being on the trade block, and I don't know where that came from. I don't believe that. Because taking A.J. Brown away from the Titans is like taking MJ away from the Bulls, honestly. Maybe not MJ. I guess Derrick Henry would be kind of like the MJ of the Titans, I guess. It'd be like taking I don't know. Think of something, guys. It'd be like taking Shaq away from the Lakers and Kobe. That's what it would be like. It'd be like taking away Shaq from the Lakers. But I think it's going to be Kenny Pickett, and I'm okay with that because I've said this all along. I actually think Kenny Pickett's got something, but we'll see. Toxic Falcon says, so would you think the Eagles would trade up to 6 with the Panthers? That's a good question. It's a good question. I honestly believe that to secure the quarterback that they would need or that they want, I think they could get away with trading up to 8. Wouldn't necessarily have to go up to 6. They'd get away with trading up to 8. The only thing that you have to worry about, the only thing that you really have to worry about there is that obviously the New York Giants are picking before 8, and I think twice, if I'm not mistaken. And are they going to take a quarterback? So if the Eagles trade up to 8 for a quarterback and the Giants take the guy, it's like, oh, fuck, we're fucked. King says, not only that, Jalen Hurts wants A.J. Brown to the Eagles. I would also take it. Jalen Hurts wants A.J. Brown to the Eagles? Why? Did he say something on like social media or something? I didn't see anything. I would give up a first, a third, and a second for A.J. Brown. And that's probably the most I would give up, to be fair. Would A.J. Brown turn the Eagles' offense around, though? Yeah, he's a phenomenal wide receiver. And yeah, you would think on paper he would turn them around. But we also have to remember this too, right? Is like Jalen has to be able to get these guys the ball. Jalen has to be able to take advantage of the mismatches of having 2 dynamic wide receivers. Obviously, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, if A.J. Brown, in fact, were traded to Philadelphia Eagles, which don't believe is going to happen. I don't think they're going to trade AJ Brown. I don't think DK Metcalf's going to get traded. I don't think AJ Brown's going to get traded. Tyler Lockett maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. The Honey Badger is still a free agent. I think the Philadelphia Eagles should bring in the Honey Badger. Really don't understand why they're waiting on that one. The thing about the Honey Badgers, he might be getting up there in age. He's 31 now. He still plays at a Pro Bowl level, and he also brings swagger to a defense. And any swagger. We saw what he did when they brought him to Kansas City. We know how he played when he was in Arizona. He's a phenomenal player. He's still a phenomenal player. Age should not be the question right now when it comes to the Honey Badger. You want to talk about injuries, maybe, but still, you bring him in, he'll bring something to your team. I guarantee it. King says, I think Howie will draft a wide receiver first. And by the way, do you still want a LB? I think, let me answer this question in two parts. Yes, I think that Howie Roseman's going to definitely go wide receiver in the first round. I think that is going to happen. I don't think there's any question around that now, especially with the fact that they didn't grab one in free agency. They definitely need one. The only one that they really added, I guess, is Zach Pascal. But even then, just now, I forgot about it. Can't you tell? So the good news is that that Zach Pascal is an upgrade over Jalen Reagor. You draft the wide receiver in the first round, whether it be Jamison Williams or Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave. You're still doing good. I wouldn't even mind it being Jamison Williams and waiting to see him play. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that, because this is what we would get. We would get Devontae Smith. We would have a wide receiver in Quez Watkins going into year 3, developing even further. And then we would have a Zach Pascal who would be replacing Jalen Reagor, and we would be getting more production out of him while we wait for Jamison Williams to return to the field. Excuse me. So, as far as me wanting a linebacker is concerned, do I still want a linebacker? Of course I still want a linebacker. Yeah, if Devin Lloyd is there, I'm all for it. There's a few scenarios that I'm in favor of. Them taking a defensive lineman and a linebacker, I would be cool with. Them taking a cornerback and a defensive lineman, I would be cool with. But honestly, I think it's going to be wide receiver, and I think it's going to be either a defensive back or a defensive lineman, like Devontae Wyatt, if he's there. Kimiro says, not replace Jalen Reagor, more like J Jaw. No, Zach Pascal is going to replace Jalen Reagor. Zach Pascal is going to replace Jalen Reagor. Plain and simple. He's going to come in and can't. Nick Sirianni is familiar with Zach Pascal. They know what they can get out of Zach Pascal. He's good for 600 yards whenever used correctly, and he gets open, catches the ball, does a lot of good different things that Nick Sirianni is familiar with, that Nick Sirianni wants in this offense. They tried to do that with Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Reagor couldn't do it because he's a buffoon. So, yeah, Zach Pascal is competing with Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Reagor is competing with Zach Pascal. That's the spot. Nick Sirianni talked glowingly about Zach Pascal. He can play inside, he can play outside, he can play, out in the flat sometimes. He talked glowingly about Zach Pascal. And I honestly, a lot of people are kind of hating on that move. I actually think it was a good move. I think it was a really good move. It's a guy that that can be consistent, that that can come into your offense and do certain things well. and you don't have to rely on guys that you don't necessarily know, kind of like Nick Sirianni and Jalen Reagor last season, to get the job done. So there's a consistency there. There's a familiarity there, and I think that we're going to see that. I think that as Eagles fans, we're definitely going to see the difference pretty quickly, sooner rather than later, with the addition of Zach Pascal. But I mean, I still think that they're going to draft a guy, and then what does that do? That puts Jalen Reagor at the fifth wide receiver spot. It really does. And that's why I think it could be Jamison Williams, because Jamison Williams is going to return in about week 5 or something like that. And so they'll have enough time to get to see if Jalen Reagor actually took the next step, because they're still going to sprinkle him in there, even with Zach Pascal on the field. Still going to sprinkle in Jalen Reagor. So during the time that they're waiting for Jamison Williams to get healthy, they'll see if they can still find some sort of salvage any parts of Jalen Reagor's game. You know what I mean? But it's all gonna be interesting. Me personally, like I said already, with whatever wide receivers we add from here until the season begins, I would much rather have, like, if I were to choose between the two guys, Kenny Pickett or Jalen Hurts, I would rather it be rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett, because I know he has better passing mechanics. I'm not hating on Jalen Hurts. Look, if we have to go, if they don't take a quarterback and he is the guy for the full season next season, cool, whatever. They'll go that route, and then they'll see about getting a quarterback in next year's draft class, whether it be CJ Stroud or Bryce Young or whoever it's going to be. But yeah. So you know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, I just wanted to. I'm not feeling too well today, but anyway, guys, I just want to jump on here real quick. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, the DB Talking Now podcast. I do appreciate you guys joining in. King, Toxic Falcons, thank you guys so much. One love, stay safe, stay healthy, go Birds. Have a beautiful Friday, man. And I will get on tomorrow, and I will stream tomorrow, and we'll get back to talking then. So one love, stay safe, stay healthy, go Birds, baby.